There we go. I said I was going to start this one off with a bang, and we certainly did. This thing has been built a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be built, actually. It didn't take that much time at all, and I think the reason for that was probably preparation. You saw we got all of our materials ready in the beginning, and also I've already built one before, so I built this with the fastest building techniques, and that was something that I was actually trying to show you there. Hopefully that came across in the time lapse. Whenever you're building something big and in bulk, it's good to get the faster building techniques down so you can build it as quick as possible, which I'm pretty sure we did. And there you go, it's been built, which is awesome. So now that that's built, there is a little bit of a problem around here. If I press F3, you can see my FPS at the top there. It should hang around 60. And if we go and walk across the top here, when we're looking downwards, you can see it stays at 60. But if we go across here when we're looking up, then we're going to get a little bit of a problem. So we're looking up, we're moving across, and the FPS is dropping. There you go, down to 50, 48. Sometimes it goes really low. It's probably not going to do it now that I'm recording, so let's just try that one more time. Let's sprint across here, down to 50, 52, 14. There you go, 14 frames per second, and I could really feel some stuttering when being around this area. Hopefully you picked that up in the video. But there's one of two reasons why I think that we're getting this issue. And one could be flowing water. That used to cause a problem in older versions of the game. Maybe it's been fixed, but lots of flowing water can cause a little bit of lag, but more likely it is the stained glass that we used up there. Now I've heard rumours that if you use stained glass in large quantities, and there you go, there's the lag again, maybe you saw it stuttering, but yeah, it can cause some lag, and we do have stained glass in large quantities here, so that could probably support that theory. But yeah, something has definitely changed since I built this side over here, and it's good to see that we've got guardians spawning in there already. This farm is going to be a success, I can feel it already. And we have a lot of work to do. Obviously this episode we're going to try and do as much as we can down the bottom here. And just before we start work on that, I want to talk to you about two things. So first of all, my music blog, I mentioned it a while ago that I wanted to do that. And I just wanted to let all of you know, maybe some of you didn't realise I had started that. If you follow me on Twitter, you can get updates about the music blog. And I got to say, it was a great idea. I absolutely love writing about music, and I feel it's really rewarding. However, the other day, someone tweeted at me that they had actually brought one of the CDs that I kind of reviewed or recommended, if you like, and that was something I was not expecting, and I got to say that was a really nice feeling to know that you can find some good music, share it with other people, and they can enjoy it too. And the other thing that I wanted to mention, as well as my blog, like I said, if you want to follow that or find updates about it, just follow me on Twitter, is my website. My website, xisumavoid.com, made by my friend Mousy Mars. I love that thing, it looks absolutely amazing, and I've been tracking the amount of people using it, and I got to say, I think I really overestimated how many people would go to the website. I thought it'd be quite a lot. It's actually not too many people at all, and I was thinking about why is it that, I've got this website set up, but people aren't using it, and really, there isn't a lot on there that you're going to go on there for. I mean, you've got the video feed and a few links to other bits and bobs, but for videos, you're going to mainly be using YouTube, so I was kind of curious to come up with some ideas for other things that we could put on there. So I thought I'd just mention it at the beginning of this video. If you have any ideas for interesting stuff you'd like to see on my official website, then leave a comment down below and share your ideas, and maybe we'll try and do something, because it'd be nice to get more people on there. Oh, and there was actually something else we added to the website recently. Almost forgot to mention it. My friend It's Fozzie made an Asuma dictionary. And you guys know me, I pronounce some things in very strange ways, and he's kind of made a track of that on this little website of his where you can find out all the strange things that I say and how they're incorrectly pronounced, which I thought was really amusing, so we added that to the website as well. But anyway, I've done my little rambling about the website and the blog and stuff, and it is time for us to work on the farm again. So a substantial amount of time has passed by, and maybe at first glance it might not look like I've done too much here, but let's talk about some of the things you can obviously see. All of this around the edge here has been half slabbed, and that is to stop slime spawning. When I was working on this, I would often see them spawn on the edges and then fall down into the water down below. So we put that in for that reason. And also down here, this isn't just the water being removed, this has been dug down a few blocks as well, and that's because I wanted to put this down low enough to make sure that the guardians would fall down and die when they landed on the half slab. So you can see it's gone down by about 3 blocks, and you'd be surprised it took quite some time to dig all of that away. So this bit right here, by the way, I did check the actual distance the guardians will fall to die, and this is 2.5 blocks below that, so we know for sure they should get killed most of the time, which is good. So there is a lot to talk about. I'm just thinking about all the different things to go through. Let's see, where should we start? Okay, the stone bricks right here. I decided to use those so that we had a material here that was different from all of the stuff that spawns in the regular world, because it would be very easy just to use some of the materials I picked up from mining all of this, although technically that's that. We've got to smelt it and then craft it, and it becomes stone bricks. So the reason for that is just that in the future I might do some more caving around here, or possibly half slab some of the caves that have the slime chunks in them. And so if we're going to be digging around under here, we want to know where the farm actually is. So the glowstone and redstone blocks will obviously indicate that as well. So that's my reason for choosing that material. And my reasoning for choosing the redstone and glowstone is because I've been speaking to Tango, and he says that we can use the witch farm in exchange for him using this farm over here as well, which is awesome. So that means we're going to have plenty of redstone, plenty of glowstone, and we've also got a gold farm here on the server as well, which means we can make these tracks right here very easily. So if you have a look at that minecart right there, it's just struggling to get back and forth. Well, I say struggling, it just slows down a little bit before it hits that one, and that got me thinking, why don't we use, gold for all of these? So if we put them down on each of them, we can just kind of compare them a little bit. So over time it will make up a fair bit of distance with this one going a little bit slower, and this is just like an awful comparison right here. They're just all doing their own thing, but you know what I mean. This one is always going to be the fastest because it's always going to move at the fastest speed, and so over a long distance that will actually make quite a bit of difference. And since we have the gold farm and an infinite source of redstone, we are going to go absolutely all out with this thing. So the reasoning for the redstone blocks is obviously to power our powered rails. The reason for the glowstone though is to provide light, and somewhere here in the middle there are 2 blocks that have a light level of 8, and I can never remember if it's 7 to prevent or 7 is when they can spawn, but I know that 8 is a good number for the light level to be. So we possibly could have spaced this out a little bit more, but with infinite resources it's really not a problem. So the reason that we want light in here is to stop spiders from spawning, because slimes will be able to spawn in the light levels and spiders can spawn in here too. Even though there's loads of rails, they can actually spawn there, and the way they'll be able to do that is, let's say there's air blocks the other side of this wall, let's say the algorithm for spawning started there, it could actually put a spider inside of this farm, because all it needs is a 2 by 2 by 1 high space for the spider to go in. And so for that reason we want to put light in here as well. Now I know that slimes are going to be able to spawn in here, so that's just a problem that we'll have to kind of deal with when it happens. I don't think it's really going to get in the way of the minecarts, especially if the tracks are powered the whole way across, because if something's standing in its way, then it's going to be able to bounce back like that, and then that means it's going to be less of a problem because the slimes are going to be moving around. However, as you saw earlier, I accidentally stopped this. With the regular tracks it should just stop. There you go, it loses its momentum. So another good reason to use the powered rails. Anyway, I was speaking to Tango and he needs some chests, and I've got a good method for getting chests quickly. In fact, he needs a heck of a lot of chests because me and him are working on a secret project in the future that we'll talk about closer to the time that we're going to do that. And so I want to help him out with getting some chests. We're going to go over to the farm and pick us up some glowstone and redstone. I'm also going to try and calculate how much we need in total for this entire thing, so we make sure we get the right amount when we go over there. So we're off to Tango's. I'm going to show you how to do some tree farming for chests, and we're going to pick up some redstone and glowstone. Well, Tango certainly has been busy building a massive glass tower. We will go and check that out in a moment, but first of all I want to show you my technique for getting lots of chests. Now some of this stuff might be pretty obvious, but if it's not, then hopefully you'll learn something. So anyway, the reason that I've come over here isn't just to snag some glowstone and redstone, it is to make use of the haste 2 beacon. That is important, and also there's a nice flat area around here for us to collect any saplings and wood that's going to drop down. So I'm using an efficiency 4 axe, and if you use efficiency 5, which I should invest in getting, it's not going to make instant mine, but a good axe is important. Also, look at that, 1 durability left. I noticed that when I came over here. It's a good thing that didn't break. So what I like to do is do this with jungle trees because you get a heck of a lot of wood from them. And I used to plant down, several at once, so some of them could grow naturally. But then all you need to do is just bone meal these. And if you have a look around the edge, there's no vines here. Sometimes there's some vines that lead all the way up to the top, and you can climb up and get up to the top quicker. But it doesn't matter if there is or there isn't. All you got to do is chop this thing down. And what's cool about this is because it's 2 by 2, you can actually make a staircase out of this thing, which looks really cool. But anyway, we need 100 double chests. Each chest is 2 logs, and so that's 4 logs per chest or double chest. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. We got another one, and you can see that it's probably not going to take too much time at all before we've got plenty of wood for the chests. So doing this little staircase, you can make your way up to the top and then just make your way back down after. And I find this is just a really quick and efficient way of getting a ton of wood together. And like I said, because it's making chests, it doesn't matter what wood type it is. So you can just use the jungle wood, which is awesome. Anyway, I'm going to do this for a while and make those chests for Tango. Man, I cannot explain to you what is going on right now. There's a witch up here. How has this happened? Ah, oh, don't hit me. I've been standing up here for quite some time, and then all of a sudden I'm poisoned as I'm looking in a chest, and there's a witch attacking me. Oh, do you know what? At first thought, I thought, how on earth has that got up here? But obviously it's probably spawned up here. And now that I look around, there isn't really any torches. There's the one there. And this could have been worse. This could have been a creeper. But there you go. Hello. You're not going to attack me? Ah, what could I do to you? I guess I could give you a hug. Okay, you can do that instead. I was going to give her a hug and just push her off the edge there, but she decided to jump down. And how do I get off of here? Anyway, I'm going to put down some torches. I am picking up some glowstone and redstone at the moment, and we will go over that in a second. I gotta say it, I feel stinking rich right now. Look at that, that is absolutely insane. 9 stacks of each of those. You know what, that would take such a long time to get in survival. And of course, this is survival. What I mean is this farm is just amazing. The amount of things you could build with these materials, like a guardian farm, which is what we're going to do right now. But before I came over here, I did some calculating of how much of this stuff we needed. So I thought I would run the numbers by you since I find this stuff interesting. But anyway, 260 redstone blocks and 520 glowstone blocks is what we would need for our guardian farm. So that equates to 2,340 redstone and 2,080 glowstone. But obviously the glowstone blocks need redstone as well. So that bumps it up to 4,420 redstone, which is certainly a lot. And then on top of all of that, we're going to need some rails as well. So we need 3,120 rails that will all need a slab above them. And I figured out that that is exactly 1 stack of gold blocks as well, or a little bit over, to supply the gold for that. But that also comes with a cost of redstone, so another 520 redstone will bring it up to 4,940. A ridiculous amount. So that's 77 stacks of redstone, 32.5 stacks of glowstone, and that equates to 8.5 stacks of redstone blocks and 8.125 stacks of glowstone blocks. So I just picked up 9 of each. And I've got to say, there are a lot of chests here, but I picked out most of the redstone and glowstone from them. At least on this side over here, you can see there's not a lot of redstone in these ones. And over here, most of the glowstone has gone as well. But I've got to say, the witch farm is awesome. I do like it. And I almost forgot to mention it. I did, of course, leave Tango some chests, and I felt like putting an ender pearl in there. And so I did. Well, there we go. That is a sight to behold. Well, I guess it's not really. It's mainly stone bricks, who are a little bit grey and bland, but that is an impressive amount of materials down there. All of that glowstone and redstone. It looks awesome. And I was just thinking, you know what? It's going to be all under half slabs eventually, and then it'll just look boring and grey, which kind of sucks. But you can see there's a whole bunch of guardians down here. These guys have made the fall down because they've hit the beacon. Oh, come here. They've made the beacon on the way down. Some of them might have actually hopped over the edge there as well. And these guys, I've got to say, they're a real pain to work with because they really do work down your armour over time. But it's ready to go now. What we're going to do next is put in all of the... We've caught one over here as well. Hey, don't do that. We're going to put in all of the golden rails next. Golden rails, that's not what they're called. They're called powered rails. Give me that minecart. Oh, I'm making a mess of things here. Yes, we're going to put all of those in place and then put the hopper minecarts in, which is something else I didn't think about. When we were harvesting those trees earlier, could have done with collecting some more materials there because we are going to need a lot of chests and a lot of iron to make this happen. But that is the next step. We're going to put in all of these powered rails, and I think we're just going to focus on the one half of this farm for the rest of this episode, because I would like to do a time-lapse of building this, and I think we could do a dual perspective one on the other side. And I have enjoyed my time-lapse with Tango in the last episode. I've enjoyed the one we did this morning, and I'm still in the mood for more. So next episode we'll probably be doing another time-lapse, but as of right now I'm going to get to crafting all of those powered rails. Ah, there we go. That is a sight to behold. I love how this thing is coming along. It's looking pretty good. We have a wall on this side over here to stop the guardians coming over the edge. They were becoming a real pain, so I had to put that up temporarily. And this thing used up so much more gold than I had calculated. I don't know how I managed to get it so wrong, but I'm going to do the calculations again at some point and try and figure it out. I've also seen a few slimes spawning down here while I was placing down the tracks, but none since they've all been placed down, which is good. And you may notice that the minecarts are on every other track at the moment, and the reason for this, is because we have the problem where when we put the tracks next to each other, they join together. And I really don't want to give you an example down here because that's going to ruin it. But basically, if I go and place a track where that block is, it's going to connect with that one in that direction. So I went and put down all of these blocks like this so we could join them up like so, or at least not have them join in that direction. And then I realised that when I remove that block and place it down, those three will connect in that direction. So what we have to do, I think, and we're going to do a little bit of an experiment here together, is we place them down like that. I'm also going to need some random blocks. I guess we use the granite. Then we place the one in the middle here. Then this row will have power, and then we remove the ones on either side, and hopefully no block update or anything like that will change them into the other direction. There we go. So I'm going to have to do that for all of these, but let's have a quick look and see. Oh, yep, that's right, you stay there. Ah, look at that, they are picking up items. That is good to see. That is very good to see. Oh man, this is exciting times, and I gotta say this has taken me a heck of a long time. You can probably tell by the amount of ridiculously expensive materials we have been putting down here. Yes, there we go, that's nice to see. Yes, there's a little bit more to be done on this side. What I need to do is finish putting down all of these rails, and I'm going to do that and be very careful when I do it on this side over here. And then on the opposite side, we're going to have to do something similar, but we're also going to have to build the system that will take the items and dispense them into a water stream and send them to a central collection point. So I might be doing that in the next episode or in between, I am not sure. But I'm going to wrap things up a little bit earlier on this one today. Been putting in a lot of work into this place. I hope you can appreciate it. I know that it has been some time we've been working on this, but this is a project that is just going to take a lot of time, but it is going to be absolutely amazing when it's finished. So, as always, if you've enjoyed the video, please do leave a like. You know, it will always be appreciated, and I will catch you next time. Bye-bye.